Please read the disclaimer. Holy smokus, it ain't no jokes. The crypto market continues to drop, to collapse, to pull back, however you want to call it. It's the same thing. The market is in free fall right now. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. Let's get straight to it. As you can see, XRP dropped all the way to $1.51. That was the low point, but it did bounce off of that. Currently sitting at $1.56, Bitcoin at 78,000, and we have Ethereum at 2,300. Ethereum is getting close to 2,000 level once again. Solana close to that 100 level. The whole crypto market is selling off big time here, and there's a few factors. We'll get to them in just a second. If you can see all aboard, right? Everybody is on the choo-choo train downwards. Wait, I got a video for this. Whoa. The crypto market roller coaster continues here for the crypto market. And it's coming off of this morning where we talked about the fact that it seemed that there was going to be a government shutdown in the US for now, right? And the only market that was open was the crypto market. So we were looking at that and we were saying, okay, well, so far the market is down, but it's not collapsing yet. And in just a second, I'll tell you why I think what triggered this secondary sell-off. It's a few factors. So when I was out today, Saturday, right, spending time with my in-laws and then my parents, and when we got to my parents' house, my dad said, "Did you hear the news about Iran?" I was like, what news? Oh, no, he asked, did you see the news? I was like, no. And my mom was like, don't mention anything. And then I looked at my phone because I hadn't been looking at my phone for the past few hours. I didn't open any news sites. Then it said that there was explosions in Iran, right? And so when the algos read that headline, they're going to come to a conclusion and start pre-selling, because if they're saying to themselves, oh my God, if there was an explosion in Iran, that means that potentially the US is attacking Iran. We could see Iran has said that they would potentially start a regional war. So that's creating fear in the markets. And then that triggered the sell-off. And actually, my brother-in-law also called my sister. He was at the gym and he said, people here are talking about this explosion in Iran. And so far, it seems that it's not. The US and Israel have said that they have not done anything like this. It seems only a gas leak. So there's denying right now. But maybe it's not. And so we have to take that into consideration. People are saying that the e-files are out, right? And so maybe that's creating some fear in the crypto markets, but I think it's more the fear of things kicking off in Iran. And you can see about as soon as those headlines started coming out. So it was around when we went to my parents' house. It was around this time, around 4-ish, right? And then that's when we started seeing the sell-off. So at that moment, we were at 166, somewhere around that. And then these headlines started coming out and we saw it's coming. And of course, all this comes from the liquidation. So let me refresh this. We got the liquidations in the last 12 hours. Bitcoin 484 million on the long, 17 on the short, 469 million on the long, XRP 52 million, right? So others is a little bit before XRP. I never know what others is. I have to research that. What goes into others? I don't know. But because there are others here, right? So I don't know, but I'll get back to you on that. The big three here are XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, and they're taking a big hit, 10% down for XRP, 8% for Bitcoin, 13.5% for Ethereum, 13.5% for Solana, Cardano, 12.5%. So actually XRP is holding relatively right good. It did break through the resistance area that we talked about, the 162 level that had acted as a resistance and support. So the next level under this is 144. And the next level for Bitcoin, which actually previously did bounce off of that support zone right here, and this is happening right now in the last 2 minutes, the 77,000. We'll see if this is able to hold And if not, then the next level down is around 73,000. And remember, Bitcoin hasn't have been at this level in a very, very long time, basically since November of 24, right? It hasn't been that low of a level. So it will be very interesting to see how the next hours play out. Remember, Saturday, Sunday is very tricky because there's low liquidity in the market, and the only market that is open up is the crypto market. So that means that if algos want to start selling off and creating panic, this is the only market that they can do so. Now, people that are short on the market are making a lot of money today. We talked about the possibility this morning of shorting the market. I don't take that out of consideration. I'm not anti-shorting the market. If that is the momentum and that is the potential of the market, then you're free to do whatever you want. Again, as always, this video is for entertainment purposes, for educational purpose only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. I do not know day to day what the price is going to be, what the president is going to say, what Iran is going to do, right? I'm the guy with the monkey on the shoulder. And I always tell you, even when we were going up in the beginning of January, I was like, hey, I got the monkey on my shoulder because I know from my life experience that things can change and things can flip and something bad can happen. And even think everything's looking rosy and red, the market can flip. And it depends how you look at that as an opportunity or as a opportunity to flee. Again, that's up to you. Or maybe it's an opportunity to short the market. Maybe it's an opportunity to scoop up. Okay, the market is very fragile right now. But if we go back and we look a year ago or 2 years ago, we're still up a lot. I told you that I don't really care about my portfolio, day to day. I try not to look at the numbers because unless I'm relieving myself from these positions, I'm not selling and I'm not taking the loss yet, right? So I have stop losses in certain areas and that are like really extreme areas. And if they hit, they hit. But I don't think that we will get there, right? They're very low. Just because after October 10th, I was like, okay, maybe we need some, like a certain area. But remember, then stop losses didn't hit. So even that is kind of tricky. But if you are long-term investing, again, we saw on October 10th that things did recover. So it's a yin and a yang. You have to figure out what is good and what is bad, and it will be very interesting to see right now what happens with the market because we're in a situation where MicroStrategy, for example, one of the biggest Bitcoin holders in the world, is now only 3% of turning red, and they might actually be in the red already because this was from about an hour ago. That's a fear, right? That could push more fear on the market. And so we have to take that into consideration, right? And there was this headline, which I don't know if this is good or bad, crypto wise, but Chicago's Metropolitan Bank, Capital Bank and Trust becomes first bank of 2026 to collapse. It was closed by Illinois regulators due to unsafe conditions and weak capital cited, with assets 261, deposit 212, and hits to the FDIC fund 19.6 million. But it was a small bank, but that made headlines. So maybe that was creating fear. And so when you're in the crypto market and you're already in fear, you're in 20, it's probably tonight it's going to drop into maybe even to 10, right? Probably if the prices stay where they are. This is the lowest Bitcoin has been for sure since April of 2025. And XRP hasn't been this low since basically November, right? I'm excluding October 10th, right? Because that was, again, an outlier. But it dipped to the lowest point since basically November. Wow. So it's been a long time since we've been at these levels. And again, when we were in this level here, we were in momentum and it was looking so juicy. And now when we're back at that price again, people are fearful and people are running for the hills. So it's always funny when this kind of things happen. But again, it doesn't mean that XRP can't go back to $1 range. I mean, that's a possibility. And if that happens, what is your game plan, right? What is your game plan? Do you think that XRP can hit 4, 5, 10, 50? If the answer is yes, then you have your answer to that, right? If you don't think that XRP can hit those levels, then you have your answer for that as well. But it's again all about what you think. Okay. I am still very, very bullish on the crypto market. I'm still very bullish on stable coins. Very bullish on tokenization. Just today, my dad sent me an article talking in Hebrew, talking about stable coins and how the banks are afraid that a lot of money is going to be removed from saving accounts and go into stable coins because of the yields. Of course, we'll see if the Clarity Act will be able to get that through. But it's already, people are already talking about it, right? And tomorrow, not tomorrow, February 2nd, so on Monday, White House Crypto Summit, right? The Trump administration will host banking and crypto leaders at the White House on Monday, aiming to break the Senate deadlock over the Clarity Act. So it could come sooner than later. Again, we'll see if if the if the government will be shut down or not. If it is, I don't think that this will happen. But again, they're trying to make things good. And President Trump said that his Fed pick Kevin Warsh made no commitments to cut rates. Of course, he can say that, but he wouldn't have chosen him if he didn't think he was going to cut rates after he spent the last 6 months calling Powell the too late Powell, right? And criticizing him for not reducing rates. He's not going to put in a new chairman that's not going to reduce rates. But I was talking with my dad about this as well. The fear and the reason why we saw that big sell-off on Friday and that over $10 trillion swing was the fact that he is anti or not pro quantitative easing, and that could suck the liquidity out. If there's no quantitative easing, the crypto market has been waiting for that, and others have been waiting for that as well. So it will be very interesting to see how the markets are going to play out here. It just popped up a little bit while we were talking. Oh, it dropped down to 150 and then pop back up. Was that just XRP? Okay, so Bitcoin dropped to 75,000 and popped back up too. So interesting. There's someone probably got liquidated here and algos sold off and then it bounced back. So the market is very, very delicate right now. Again, if you're using leverage, you need to be super duper careful because even if this was what 3.5% in very short period of time. So just be careful out there. Days like these can be very, very profitable, but you can also get a whiplash and get kicked out of your positions. So just be very careful out there. Okay. Don't forget to smash the like button. Red days, green days, we don't care. We smash the like button. It's all about perspective. Okay. Remember, we don't use fear on the crypto. We use concern. Fear is for real life. And, I might need fear because maybe the missiles are coming to me, right? So I will reserve the fear for that. And for crypto, I'll be concerned. Drop a comment, smash the like button. You can also drop a super thanks if your heart desires. There's also this hype it up. I don't know. It's not enabled for me, but I think you guys can do it in your regions, right? So check that out as well. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.